Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Steven Sports back with another stream, and I'm here with my co-hosts Russell Spot and Tommy. We're back with Bad Takes Better Conversation, episode 9. And as you guys know, yesterday was Survivor Series pay-per-view. We're gonna be talking about how Ronda doesn't suck at all. We're gonna talk about the Roman Reigns and Sami match. I think that's one of the best storytelling matches of all year. Um, we might dip into some things that happened in the wrestling world earlier in the week, but this is definitely just purely Survivor Series, man. But I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna let my co-host Russell Spot and Tommy introduce himself, and we're gonna get into our guests with Brandon, Igma, and Will. But go ahead, Russell Spot.
All right. I'm the Russell Spot of the Bad Takes and Better Conversations podcast. Excited to be on today and plug one thing. Go follow the Bad Takes Better Conversations podcast TikTok. It's just at Btbc podcast on TikTok, and yeah, you'll see some of the best clips from the shows on there. Go ahead, Tommy.
All of Steven's crazy takes will be there too. So y'all gotta check it out. But y'all already know it's Tommy Impact here with Bad Takes Better Conversations. I do want to let y'all know November is what? Winding down, it's what, the 26th? 27th?
2 days away.
27th?
Maybe 2 days away.
Bro, so I need y'all. I know y'all know about this rest of your bracket already, so y'all know what's next. Click the link. Go ahead and put a name in. Any name, unlimited. If you voted already, vote again.
It's in the description, by the way.
Every vote counts. In the description, go ahead. Rest of the year bracket's coming soon. And we might be doing selection shows, so y'all just stay tuned, man. Y'all just stay tuned.
And I must have do an intro or.
Oh, you go ahead.
No, because Russell Spot usually introduce our whenever we have a guest.
Oh, I know you. I thought you wanted to plug something too, though. Don't you?
I don't have anything to plug in, but we might have a debate going on there, a huge one too. So y'all might want to watch out for that.
Mm-hmm. We haven't done one more before 2022 is over. I'm down.
I ain't gonna lie.
First debate, I think, for real.
Oh yeah, this is
whenever we do one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This could be the biggest debate. I'm just saying. I don't want to miss this one. Because some people's been some coons around here, man. But I won't say no names right now. But I'm gonna let our guests, Brandon and Igma, introduce himself. Go ahead, Brandon.
All right. Name's Brandon. Folks call me Brando. You can find me on all social media at Brando the Actor. You can follow me and my friend Will's podcast at Fourth Wall Wrestling Podcast on YouTube and Instagram. TikTok coming soon. And Ronda Rousey needs to get out of WWE. All right.
Oh my god.
Okay. So.
Okay. All right, guys. I'm Nick V4 from Talk for Glory, where we cover a bunch of wrestling. You guys can follow me on all my socials, just Enigma V4. You guys can follow my podcast at Talk for Glory. And I'm here to tell you guys why my favorite wrestling company solos all of yours.
And Will, you want to hit your little intro real quick, man?
Oh, Will's here? Oh, shit. I didn't see him.
Yeah, I just popped in. What's up, guys?
Hey, man.
Am I supposed to be plugging myself or what? I missed the...
Yeah,
it's up to you, whatever you want.
Oh, okay. Just follow me on Instagram at wgriffin._. It's pretty much the only social media I commonly use that people know about. Me and I don't know if Brandon already plugged it, did you?
Fourth Wall?
The pod? Okay, if you already plugged it, that's good. If not, at Fourth Wall Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. We don't upload anymore, but we have old videos, so go listen to them.
Yes, sir. So.
My bad, I'm late again.
No, you're good.
I was too low key.
Yeah, let's get into the show, man. So the show opened up
with
Team Belair taking on Team Damage Control. Where in 39 minutes and 40 seconds, Team Belair would get the win by Becky Lynch launching off the top of the cage through Io and Dakota, I believe, to get the pin. Before y'all get into it, I'm just gonna say that I don't know where Damage Control goes from here. At least Bayley, because there's no way she's getting a title shot or anything like that. Because I don't know how you do that. But go ahead.
Go ahead, Tom. You can go first.
I'm about to say So great match. I just want to put that out there. It was a phenomenal match. Becky dropped in the leg, bro. That was beautiful. That was art. It was nice. But as far as that was the conversation that I saw on Twitter yesterday. Where does Damage Control go from here? I don't know exactly, but I'm not really in a panic mode as everyone else makes it seem out they are about it. For some reason, I don't feel like it's a. I'm just not panicking. I feel like whatever's next for them, I feel like it's gonna be fine, and we're gonna forget about. Well, not really forget about, but we're just gonna move on. I'm not panicking about that. So I trust Triple H. I trust the Booker. It's crazy, but go ahead, Steven.
Tommy, the way Triple H been booking things, I don't think I can trust him as much as I used to.
What?
Second, I'm gonna keep it about you. The way Damage Control is going, I think at this point you just maybe have to just break them up because they're just been buried at this point. Bailey, like you said, definitely isn't getting a title shot. So, like, what are you gonna do with Bailey? We all know how good she is, and Io and Dakota Kai. Let's all keep it a buck. No one cares about the women's tag team titles. Like,
I completely agree.
so it's just like, what do you do with Damage Control? Like, Triple H might have fumbled this because this Damage Control would have been good if he would have just put the title on Bailey at Extreme Rules. Because the way Triple H had things, he had us all thinking like Damage Control is gonna be a force. If y'all guys remember in Clash of the Castle, he had Bailey pin Bianca, which is very key. Which told me like, yo, Bailey's gonna be winning the Raw Women's Championship in the next couple of months. But he didn't. He had to lose at Extreme Rules. I said, okay, man, I'm gonna give him a break because Crown Jewel is coming around, and she lost at Crown Jewel also, and now she lost at Survivor Series. So it's like, you're burying them at this point, and it's like nothing for them to do. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I think it's just time to just break them up and just call it a day, to be honest. I don't know where to go from here. But the match was fire, though. I'm surprised it was 40 minutes, though.
It was 40 minutes?
Longest match of the card, by the way. So, yeah.
Ooh, talk about it.
Damn,
That's
that
what's
felt
up.
like a good 25.
Exactly. 40 minutes is kind of crazy, but banger match.
That's how good the match was, guys.
It flew by, yeah. But, so, yeah, our guest, what did y'all think about it?
It didn't fly by for me. But that's just me.
The match was great. I love the match. The classic, traditional, annual EO dive off the cage. Gotta love it.
Yes, Io's got the BME, best moonsault ever.
Gotta love it. But yeah, I do agree. Damage Control. I don't really know what you can do with them right now because anytime they get in something that means something, they
fold under pressure.
Yeah, they sell the bag. Like the women's tag team titles don't mean anything. So even though they're still champs, it's just, I don't know, bro. I don't know what's next for them. But the match was great. I just hope they can get saved. Damage Control, that is.
How long have they been like just fumbling? Because first it was not winning the tag titles the first time. Then it was losing the Raw Women's title match twice.
Yeah, they won.
They were just flip-flopping
lost
titles
it,
for a moment. Yeah.
Flip-flop.
Yeah, from like September to now, because they debuted, Damage Control debuted in August, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so technically the only big win they've gotten as a unit, as a faction, is their one match at Clash of the Castle.
Yeah.
So honestly, where they can go from here is you may as well drop Bailey because yes, Bailey's pretty much in the clear. She can go on 30 losses right now, and she'll probably get a title match next week or something. But the same can't be said for like Io and Dakota. Io and Dakota can turn on her saying, hey, look, we're champs. We win. You're the only loser here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that could be the way to break up the team, but then that would make Bailey a babyface, which I don't think she needs to be right now.
No,
Do y'all think we need a mid-card women's title? That would
No.
just give more
No.
people.
Not yet.
to do.
Not yet.
Not
If
yet.
you want a mid card women's title, get rid of the tag titles.
And that's what I mean. Like
Because they don't
replace
really
the tag
do
title with a
pay-per-view feuds
mid-card
that don't
title.
involve the titles. That's why.
And if you're gonna bring a mid card title, you got to fix the divisions because there's nobody over there on SmackDown. So
At all.
And I'm cute about my bad to cut you off, but they make a mid card title. They can't have one for separate brands. It's gonna be like it needs to be like both brands type of thing that you do. Like all brands, NXT, Raw, SmackDown, that'll be a title that you need to defend all three brands.
Yeah.
I don't think the women's division is good enough where you can have 2 separate mid-card titles. But go ahead, Will. My bad.
Definitely.
Well, what they do is they struggle to put women in the main event scene on SmackDown. And like, how many women on SmackDown that are doing something would you like actually want to see with a mid card title besides maybe Liv?
Aside from Emma, Shotzi.
Oh, I forgot about her.
Yeah, good job on elevating Emma on her return.
They didn't. Steven, I just want you to know they didn't name Ronda Rousey yet. Just saying.
Bro, Ronda's the only thing that's doing anything on SmackDown. We're talking about outside. Like, if you all keep it a buck, outside of Ronda, what is there on SmackDown?
Are we serious right now? There's no way.
Shayna
No
is
way.
better than bruh. Shayna.
Bro,
Shayna.
yeah, Sheamus doing something with the Ronda. Okay, outside of
Don't
Ronda,
say 'cause it's
they're
Ronda,
basically a pairing. So, okay, outside of the pairing of Ronda and Shayna, what is there on the SmackDown Women's Division that would compel you to be excited for the mid-card title that would be introduced?
I don't know.
I mean,
how
outside
I'm
of
not even excited
Shayna.
for the Ronda part.
Megan
my
Morant
God.
interests me more than Ronda Rousey.
You said who?
Megan Morant.
Who the fuck is that?
Who did that? This nigga Brandon just came out of nowhere, dropped the real name.
Aaliyah attempting suplexes in the performance center
Bro, Megan,
for the rest of her
girl-
life.
That's the girl backstage doing all the interviews on SmackDown.
Oh shit!
How the hell do you know that? Yeah, it's kind of
Bro,
weird.
what? Are we serious? It's not like her name pops up like.
I'll be paying attention to her name.
If we're gonna talk
Ronda's
about
bodyguard.
commentators and shit,
I don't be paying attention to her name.
I'm gonna say I didn't bring the commentator note, bro. I only got
Wait, wrestle spot. Go back to that comment real quick. Because I agree with that comment. No, not that one.
No, that was a good one too, though.
That one, yes.
Beat Ronda at Mate. All right, yeah, that's
Bro,
fair.
that would be.
I
sick.
want that to
That would be
happen.
sick.
I
But
need
do we
Shayna.
Do we really want to sit through Ronda with the title for 5 more months? I don't.
Yes.
That's
Yes, very
no.
much.
Get her
I don't.
out.
I
don't.
will say yes
I
because
don't.
we've dealt with that. We've dealt that with longer with other people.
Exactly.
Right, but just because we've done
I
it
think
before
that-
doesn't mean I want to do it again. Like,
I'm interested to see where they
Yeah.
go with Shayna, but they got to turn it up because I'm not feeling it, and I thought it would be low in this.
I'm on the
I
same-
think
Ronda was
Shayna
good,
should win the
I'm not gonna
Rumble.
lie.
Let's not get wild.
No.
Nah, but
we're gonna come back to that. We're gonna come back to that on the Ronda match. We're gonna come back to that.
yeah, their mic skills together crazy. But yeah, let's get to the next match so we can get to that one. This one I thought I would have way more to say, but AJ Styles would defeat Finn Balor in 18 minutes and 25 seconds.
I ain't gonna lie. I low key fell asleep with that match. I ain't gonna lie. That match did not interest me at all. That match
Bro,
did
then again,
not
I
bang.
Y'all
had
get
to follow the women's war games, so I don't know.
Probably because that match, it didn't feel long, but definitely was. But I ain't gonna lie, that AJ Finn match.
It was nearly 20 minutes. That's crazy. I thought it flew by.
I think they did it on purpose, bro. I think getting that third one, and it's gonna be a banger, bro. Because if they already know they're getting the third one, and they're after the War Games match, all right, cool.
But like
Relax,
the
we're in
thing
that
is,
third one, that rubber, and I think it's gonna be a banger, bro.
I ain't gonna lie though, like JC, that's crazy. But the thing is though, like I don't even want to see the OC and Judgment Day even feud anymore. Like I'm kind of over that
I'm
feud.
not big on the OC, but this means that they're gonna carry it as long as they can.
But okay, okay, let's say whoever wins the feud, what do each group go for? Like, because there's no tag team titles on Raw, there's no World Championship, it's only the U.S. title. So where would they go from there?
I think after this,
'Cause eventually they're gonna have-
SmackDown. Either one of the factions got to go to SmackDown. One of them.
I feel like December, since there's nothing, this might be the perfect time to do a draft. I don't know because they got nothing going on.
Maybe.
Yeah, I
maybe,
wouldn't mind a draft in December.
Okay, see,
maybe.
this. Oh my god, bro. See, this is why titles are important because now Tia was just saying on his TikTok, bro. Now with just no titles on Raw specifically, there's
Sorry,
nothing
Tia.
to do. There's nothing to do. It's just a bunch of people just feuding, and it's just like, yo, there's just nothing right now. SmackDown. That's why I say SmackDown clears because like there's some titles to go after, but on Raw, it's just really just people feuding, and after the feud, there's nothing to do at this point.
Sorry to cut you off, Steven, but
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna agree with you like hardcore right now because if you guys don't remember in the U.S. title triple threat, it was either commentary or Seth Rollins talking about like, oh, the U.S. title is the most important title on Raw right now, and it's like that's not a good thing.
It's not at all because it's a
Yeah,
mid
y'all
card
know
title.
it's a 3-hour show too. The
Which is
I
longer
think that's
show.
more.
Crazy.
I think that's more. Because it was like a normal 2 hour show. I think we can kind of.
That's why
Yeah.
SmackDown
We
is
wouldn't
a
trip,
reason.
but
That's the reason why SmackDown is able to get away with it right now because it's only 2 hours, not as long
It's
as
only 2
Raw.
yeah,
hours.
Yeah, and the
So-
thing is, when you although they do
Wait, I'll be
have
right
the
back.
bad women's division over on SmackDown, you can hide it a little bit more because it's a shorter show, so you can
Get away with
kind
it
of
more.
you can stack that 8:30 to 9:30 hour with like not the most important parts of the show, but you can kind of put fluff in the middle of all that entire hour, which is the women's division. On Raw, you don't have the ability to do that because for the 3 hours, you got. I mean, that's why it's boring sometimes because there's too much fluff for the 3 hours because they don't have enough interesting feuds or interesting angles on the show.
yeah,
Yeah.
Truthfully,
I feel
they
that.
really don't even have the tag titles. Really, like those appear like every other week, but nothing involving the tag title. So that they're lacking that as well.
Bro, WrestleSpot, let's all keep it above. They don't care about them Raw tag team titles for real. Every time they defend the
Nah,
titles, it's the SmackDown titles, not even the Raw
Yeah.
titles.
They defend them as a whole now. Now they're like
I
the
don't
undisputed,
know.
which is tough.
Not that
Basically,
Just bro,
that's
just
what
bring in
you
some
expect.
new, just bring in some new titles. Like I don't get why they still have
Facts.
Okay, but Brandon, see the thing is with that, right? You don't want to have an AEW situation where you have too many titles. I don't because we all know the titles, the tag titles and the world titles are eventually going to go back to the original brands.
Mm.
But that's only going to last us all the way to Mania. So do you really want to introduce a title, and then once all the regular titles go back to the original brand, that title is not going to feel as special anymore because it's like a temporarily
I'm saying
title kind of in a way.
I'm talking about like the undisputed tag team titles, like how they are right now. Literally make them into like a set of titles. They like just like one tag team championship for both shows permanently. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay,
That's
okay,
the
okay, yeah,
problem
okay,
because
yeah, I
the
see what you're
Usos
saying.
have no incentive to go to Raw. Like
Yeah.
they
And-
only got to
and-
defend the SmackDown ones.
And let's talk about the Raw tag team division isn't all that too. Like the Street Profits are hurt. Alpha Academy, they're really a jobber. Well, really Chad Gable.
Yeah, they shouldn't be.
And then yeah, that's it. Like
Yeah.
I see why they're not going to Raw. Like there's no arcade, bro. There's literally nothing for the Usos to do. So I do see where Will's coming from. It's like nothing to do on Raw. And I ain't gonna lie, Vince, this is all your fault. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know why you unified them titles. Like, that was just oh my god.
Well,
We'll get
he had the right idea of unifying them. He just did it the wrong way because nobody crosses brands to go fight for the titles. Like you can make it one division with one set of titles, but if you're just going to keep the tag teams on their own brand, you're not really unifying anything.
Yeah, no point.
No,
I'll tell you the problem with this match though, the AJ and Finn match.
I was gonna say
It was the fact that the crowd didn't know how to feel. Like they didn't know how to feel. It didn't. I don't want to say they were tired because I don't know how you can be tired after one match, but they just didn't. It seemed like listening to them, there was just a buzz and not really a. Like they were trying. It's like they weren't trying to get into it as much as I think they should have.
Yeah, I think that's just what happened with the way they placed it on the show. To be honest with you.
Yeah, and also, it's not a tiredness, but it's a war. It's like after War Games. What's the word? It's not a tiredness. It's just you need a cool down period.
Yeah.
But the problem is, you only had one match that was worthy of a cool down, so one had to be sacrificed, and they weren't going to do that with the triple threat.
but they could have done that. Like as much as it hurts me to say, they could have done that with the Shotzi and Ronda match. That could have been something for the cool down.
Yeah. I think it's because they don't want to put their only two women's matches back to back, probably, and they're going to main event the Bloodline main event.
And I think they wanted to separate the show in half with the match that nobody cared about. Like the least important match goes on in between the first two and the last two because nobody cares about it. Just give people a time to reset for the second half of the show.
Okay, I know. I see. Okay, I see what coming from in there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
No.
I don't know how
Anything else y'all want to say? Yeah.
that AJ and Finn match. I'm kidding bullshit. You gotta just end that feud. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to see that shit again.
Does it not feel like, and I know they haven't because it's gone from like Edge to Ray to the OC, but hasn't it seemed all like one big feud
It
for
really
the
has.
past
Yeah.
7 months? Like, even though it's the OC and not Edge or Ray, it still feels like the same feud.
Well, yeah. Well, originally the original feud for Judgment Day was AJ Styles when it was Edge, so I think that kind of plays into it too.
Okay, I'm back.
What's up, Enigma?
Did I miss anything?
Yeah. Not really. I mean, anything you want to say about it? I feel like we kind of said everything.
Honestly, I don't think this should have been a one-on-one. I just think they should just did OC versus Judgment Day as a whole because it gives Dominic something to do aside from bullying Ray, I guess.
No, but the thing, Igma too, though. All right, do you mean like the entire one, like including like the entire group, including Rhea, or just
No.
the men's?
No, Rhea and Mia can still do their war games. Like just the guys do a 3v3.
Oh, just yeah, okay, yeah.
Because I do think AJ and Finn can get delayed till the Royal Rumble or even Mania. If like they can stretch it out that good.
I want to move both on to something else. Like,
I can vote you. I think at this point, I feel like the Judgment Day should be in that championship picture. Like they should be going to SmackDown, challenging for the titles. You can even run it back with Finn and Roman. Like I don't know if y'all. I'm pretty sure y'all remember like the Finn and Roman feud from last year.
Oh,
you can maybe run that back.
Where Finn tripped and he was on life support from falling 2 feet in the air.
Yeah, that's.
We've seen Shane fall off the top of a so Jeff do 30-foot swantons and come back the next week, but Finn falling 2 feet is on life support.
No, I ain't gonna lie. That was I heard it was just to protect the Fiend, but that still doesn't protect the Fiend at all. I mean, I said the Fiend, the demon, yeah, still doesn't protect the demon. He's still getting hit regardless.
It makes him look clumsy.
Nah, I didn't.
That's something that I would do, like fall off my bed or something like that. Not some extraterrestrial being that's trying to face Roman Reigns.
Listening. But yeah, well, like
I do agree with you. They should go for like the title scene. Actually, instead of Roman and Finn, how about Finn and Walter? We were supposed to get that pre-pandemic.
I think they want to save that for something big.
Yeah.
Igma, the reason why I'm pushing back on that one per se, only because the history that Finn and Roman has. That's the only reason why I'm pushing back. Why I feel as though that he should probably go for Roman. Just because of the history, because I think Finn can have a case like, you know what I'm saying, like after the last match, like some BS happened where someone cut the rope or whatever like that. He can have like an argument that you beat me off of like someone else or some shit. I don't fucking know. Like I think they have a story.
You went off some bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you went off some bullshit, and Finn can have a reason to challenge Roman. I think that could be a match that. I know they're gonna have Kevin Owens and Finn Balor at the Rumble, but I feel like that can be a match at the Rumble.
Kevin Owens and Roman.
Yeah, Kevin Owens and Roman. That's gonna be the match at the Rumble. But I feel as though Finn Balor has every right to be in a match with Roman at the Rumble.
I think that's
maybe round 3 can be a contenders match then between AJ and Finn.
I just don't. I don't know if they're like we look at how Roman defends the titles. Why would they do 2 Raw superstars now? Like what would make them change their mind now when they already seemingly have their plan going into WrestleMania?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like something to do though. Like something for the Judgment Day to do. Like I don't.
The OC.
I'm not saying I'd be mad at it. I just don't see them changing their whole philosophy on the way they want Roman to defend the title.
Raw, but chase the US title. Like remember, like Michael Cole or whoever the fuck said it. The US title is the biggest title on Raw. That's a goddamn war crime.
Yeah, no, that's the problem with Raw. There's nothing to be interested in.
Yeah,
like if you're hyping up your mid card title as the top title, something's clearly wrong. That's code for we fucked up on the double title vote.
And that's the same thing with the tag titles. The idea of
They
unifying.
definitely fucked it up.
The idea of unifying is not a bad idea. It's just the way they handled it. Because instead of having Roman jump from brand to brand and defending against different people, they had him stay on SmackDown because he's a SmackDown superstar. When now Raw's left alone with the U.S. title, and even that they can't. It seems like for the past month, 2 months, they've been trying to figure out what they want to do with that. So,
but the thing is though, right? I don't even think they should have even had a unification match if the brand split isn't happening. Because the brand split isn't, because usually whenever a title is being unified, either a brand split is happening. I mean, they're ending the brand split.
That's what I thought they should have done.
Exactly. So I understand for the storyline's sake, yeah, you gotta have the Usos win the tag titles, saying to establish a bloodline. But like, you gotta have some plan after that. You can't just have them only defending it on like SmackDown. Like, that doesn't just make any sense. But again, I think Vince was just writing it as his goal and just hoping. I guess he had like a plan where he was hoping to he had a plan in place to like get the titles off of them while making the bloodline look strong, or I don't know.
You for real think Vince McMahon had a plan?
I don't think he had a plan, but he probably had something like in mind that he probably was going to do, because there ain't no way you unify the titles and you just stick them to one brand. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that.
That's exactly what he did.
The unification is a good moment. Like, it's great on paper. You could say, "Oh, I'm the greatest Universal Champion." It's a good moment. It's good,
but long term, it isn't good.
30 seconds, exactly. Long term, it's horrible. It's the worst idea ever. It's why when I was doing Mania predictions, I kept telling everyone, "What are we doing Monday? Like, what happens Monday? It's going to be great at WrestleMania. Roman's going to win. Posed up with both the titles. That's going to be great. That's the last thing I remember for WrestleMania. What are we going to be excited for on Monday?" And how many months ago was Mania? 5 now? 6 months? No one still can answer. What's next? There is nothing next.
That's where they messed up.
Yeah.
And another thing is when Roman won the title, like you said, what's happening Monday? They didn't even know.
Literally. They
didn't know what they were going to do when they woke up the next day. They didn't know who his opponent was going to be 3 months from when he won the title, or what he was going to do on the next show.
I don't even think they knew who was going to be his next opponent like the next month.
Right. Like, they had no idea what they were going to do. And that's why I saw someone say it. Triple H had to inherit this problem. And now, because of it, when we do the draft in April or after Mania or whatever, that's a problem we're going to have to solve. And, I mean, I think it can be done, but there's still damage you got to repair, and that's the whole thing. Like, we can talk about how Triple H has this vision and all that, but the true vision doesn't come into play until after Mania. Like, this is just the appetizer.
But, no, Will's right. I can't even.
Yeah,
I can't even argue that. It's just that unification match just fucks up everything.
Oh, no,
yeah,
the whole company.
You got to find a way to disband it, but. What we're seeing now is Triple H or Vince's vision in Triple H's handwriting. We're not even into Triple H's vision. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, though, the thing is, though, right, what the unification match is like, I think Vince just wanted to put all his chips into the bloodline, which isn't a bad thing. But you also got to think long term. And second, I also blame this on COVID. Because if y'all remember, Brock and Roman was supposed to face that day one. But because of COVID, Brock was thrown into the fatal 4-way with Big E when Big E was champion. I think if COVID didn't happen, I don't think we'd have ever gotten a unification match at Mania. Because I heard Seth was actually supposed to take the title off of Big E at day one. So Vince and COVID has just fucked up the entire year for WWE. I just got to put that out there.
I'm trying to remember that whole day one.
I don't even think Roman having COVID should have affected. Like, that should not have created a domino effect that got us here. Okay, big whoop. You got COVID.
That should have been the only result.
It's like, okay, you got COVID. So what? Give him the title match at Royal Rumble instead. Problem solved.
But that's the thing. That's like because I was just reading it off of Fightful. That's what I was reading. That the Roman versus Brock unification was a last minute thing. Like Big E was a last minute thing. So, because I'm pretty sure they probably just didn't have anyone big enough to face Roman at WrestleMania outside of Brock. But
what they did with the Rumble was their way out of it, and then they went ahead and did the unification just as JC.
That's what's on the screen right now is a good point as well. Even if Brock did still win the title at day one, he lost it at Rumble, and then they went ahead and had him win the Rumble.
But Will, though, the thing is at the Rumble, if we have to keep the buck here. Who at the time where Roman was at, who did you think was credible enough to challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania outside of Brock Lesnar on the roster? Like maybe Bobby Lashley, right? Outside of those two, who else? Because I'm pretty sure Bobby was never going to be.
I thought AJ Styles was going to win the Rumble, actually.
Yeah, so did I.
Because
there's a number of people that could have done it.
He was in the perfect spot to win the Rumble because he wasn't really doing anything, but he was like he had the right amount of momentum at that time.
And credibility.
The fans were behind him too,
and the fans were behind him, so it would have been perfect Styles to win the Rumble.
I could have seen AJ or Drew. I'm trying to remember Drew at the time, but I think I remember.
6.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember like what Drew's momentum was like going in, but I could have seen him winning too.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
2020 level, but it was like I'm fine if Drew would win, but if he doesn't, he doesn't.
Yeah,
so he was kind of in the middle.
But the thing, all right, someone said Drew, Styles, Lashley, and Rollins, but y'all got to remember Roman. You have to remember, no one was on Roman's level in 2021. Like, I love Lashley, I love Rollins and Styles and Drew, but I don't think they would have been able to compete where Roman was at the time. Bobby's literally the only credible guy I can think of realistically that could have beaten Roman. Because Rollins lost at the Rumble also, so
he didn't lose.
Well, he won by disqualification, something like that.
Which I think should have gotten him another match.
I think if I remember,
but that set up Rollins and Cody. That's why I'm like taking Rollins out the picture because I believe they already had Cody coming to WWE at the time once he left AEW.
I think we could have gotten Cody versus Drew, if not Cody versus Rollins that year.
Something like that. Because I do think that when they found out Cody was coming in, the first person they had penciled in for him was Seth. But I don't think there was any talk of Cody leaving at the time of the Rumble. I think that happened in early March, late February. So I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't remember the timeline. But if my guess is correct, then I think they could have used Seth getting his DQ win as a way to win the Rumble and go be that thorn in Roman's side. Like you thought that you were just gonna get DQ'd and leave. No, well, I'm gonna win the Rumble and go face you at Mania. Like there was ways to do it that you didn't have to unify the titles.
Yeah, like the double title was not mandatory, and it's not even from the world. It's from day one. Okay, Roman gets Cody, so what?
But y'all don't think it was a money thing also? Y'all don't think having that caliber of match would draw people in?
Business-wise, dude, that's money right there.
That was the reason they did it. But
Cody's last match in AEW was January 26th.
Right, but when did people? There was a period where he just wasn't on TV. Yeah. When did he actually come in, or when were there rumors that he was actually leaving?
Yeah, it was around.
It was like mid-January because he was saying that he was just doing matches without a contract.
Yeah, because I remember it was around Elimination Chamber because it was like, oh, Cody's in Saudi Arabia right now.
Yeah, February.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Oh my! I still blame Vince and COVID after all of this because this is.
Well, I blame Vince for everything. Like all the problems with the company right now, they're Vince's fault. Except for damage control.
Yeah, no, that's all Triple H. No, that's all Triple H.
Yeah, damage
control. That was him trying to say. That was him trying to say. Well, I hope people know who EO and Dakota are. And
which I did not like. I see what he's trying to do, but like I think Vince is like his NXT days where he just assumed everyone that watched the main roster already know who those people are.
Yeah, no, I don't. I used to think that if you just brought them up and like got them on TV, people would start to like them, but that is clearly not the case.
That's some AEW logic.
Yeah, no,
That's weird.
Some people are capable of doing it, like LA Knight, capable of just getting on TV and being good at his job, and people like him.
Oh no!
Also,
of course.
I feel like what's weird is NXT callers who got called up from when NXT was on the WWE Network, from when NXT people who got called up from the USA Network, people who came from like the era when it was like on the WWE Network got bigger reactions and were more well known, which is weird because you would think since NXT was on like mainstream TV, they'd be more well known, but that wasn't even the case.
Because most people if you watch Raw, you probably already have USA Network, which NXT is on. So most people probably aren't surprised because they probably watch them every day.
Yeah.
On Tuesday without a paywall, so they probably know who they're probably more familiar with those guys at the time. But I mean, I probably could. I see what Brandon's talking about. I do remember a couple of guys that was like on the main roster during when NXT was on WWE Network. It was like a big thing,
and they got way bigger reactions. Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, all of them got bigger reactions.
Big
pop.
But I think
they were. Huge.
I think that was the time when I think more people watched more wrestling. Like that was I think you could do a comparison. And what do we think? Is there more hardcore fans now or back then?
Back then,
because there's just so much wrestling now, and it's like
a lot of people aren't willing to just go out their way and look for it. Like to quote Chris Jericho, just Google it, kid.
Exactly.
Because now you gotta pay for.
No, I haven't said anything wild yet, Chad. Come on.
Cool, but I feel like this next match he's about to say something crazy. So we might as well get.
Oh, here we go.
Let's get to the next match.
Here we go, bro.
In the shortest match on the card, 7 minutes and 15 seconds, Ronda Rousey would defeat Shotzi. And Steven, I'll let you.
Look, I'm gonna keep it about you. I actually rewatched the match this morning. Hey, Ronda, look, I defend you a lot, but I'm about to slander the fuck out you right now. That match was horrible as fuck. You have to get bro. I'm sorry, because I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, because I was like, you know what? The match probably wasn't that bad. I rewatched it, Ronda. I don't know what the fuck you was doing. Like it's like you just forgot what the hell you was doing, and I've been trying to defend you, but you're getting slandered today. That was a horrible match. You're taking this L from me, but I hope this continue with the the Ronda and Shotzi kind of thing. I was kind of hoping Charlotte would have came back to challenge Ronda, but Ronda, you're taking this L from you. And JC, you better not clip this. You better not clip this part out of context. I'm not joking, bro. You will clip it out of context. Yeah. No, Shotzi did not carry the match, bro. Please stop saying that.
Yeah, let's not go that far.
They were both bad. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Y'all make Jay look oh my god, y'all make Jay look so good.
I will say Ronda did sandbag the fuck out of Shotzi on one of her moves.
Yeah, she did not want to take that apron bump.
What looked like a one final beat DDT spot. How the fuck do you hold on to the ropes and Shotzi throws herself?
No, that's she probably like Will said, she probably didn't want to take that bump because some people on Twitter was trying to show the clip of Shotzi doing it on someone at NXT, but it was just as botched as this one. So I don't know, y'all overhated the match. It was better than expected.
We just need to agree that the match was bad. And
the match was bad.
I'll say the match was bad, but like I'm not gonna hate on it like religiously.
No, I don't care enough about it to hate on it. It was just bad. Like,
no, I ain't gonna lie, Ron. This is out of every match you had this year, it's probably the worst match you ever had this year. Nah, but I don't gotta say too much on the spot. I did have to get off my chest because Ronda kind of embarrassed me out there. Embarrassed me.
Bro, if you've been watching, she's been embarrassing you.
Oh my God, Will, stop it. Will, over here at Bad Takes Better Conversation, we don't slander Ronda over here, okay?
Steve,
don't slander.
I want to what Ronda match this year did you enjoy?
This year,
what Ronda match are you going to tell your kids about from 2022?
The Charlotte versus Ronda at Backlash and WrestleMania. I kind of enjoyed it, but I did think Backlash is better. I did think the one at Backlash is better.
Their WrestleMania match was the worst WrestleMania match of the entire weekend. It was bad. It was pretty bad.
I'm trying to remember that WrestleMania off the top of my
I'll
head.
give that to the Brutes versus New Day only because that was like.
I'd rather watch Lil Dude from Jackass get kicked around than Charlotte and Ronda again.
Yeah, well. You pushing it, my dude. You pushing it, my dog. Come on. Oh, Charlotte. I'm trying to think of one more. You said 3. What match did I like from? I kind of enjoyed the Emma match when Emma first came back.
I didn't even watch that.
Have you lost your marbles?
Dude,
No.
talking about the match. Everyone's talking about the return.
No, I actually watched. The return wasn't even all that. Like, no one knew who the hell she was in that crowd.
That's true. That's true.
But I kind of like that match. But I'm not gonna say her as though Ronda pit on bangers. My whole thing.
Living Ronda at Extreme Rules.
Oh no! I actually might replace that with Emma. I actually totally forgot about that match.
I didn't. That match, I like that one.
But that one wasn't
was
as
fine.
egregious.
I thought it would be more extreme than that, but I don't know.
Oh, it's living
I like
Ronda.
the finish for sure.
No, because after it's like Liv just knew what an Extreme Rules match was after that. But look, I didn't lose my mind.
Was mid.
Was mid. Who just said that? Was that Igma?
Yeah, it was mid.
Which one? The Extreme Rules?
Oh no, all of them because Liv was a fucking jobber. She was local talent.
Yo, this is Igma. Yo, don't let them Liv fans hear you say this, bro. Please don't.
All right, fine. I won't say that, but I'm sure Liv tapping at 2 is a lot louder than my voice. It's fine.
They'll have your phone number, your home address, your parents' names,
exactly. Yo,
the gender of your dog. They'll have all that in 0.25 seconds, bro.
Bro, they don't play about Ronda or Raquel versus Ronda.
That's
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. After that shot, I think that could set up Raquel versus Ronda.
I think that's what they're going for sure. Like at the Rumble or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what they're doing at the Rumble. Because she's out 6 to 8 weeks, and the Rumble is 9 weeks away. So
what the fuck?
So they'll probably just be beating up on people until the Rumble.
Yeah. I'm telling you, bro. That SmackDown. I say that SmackDown Women's Division. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think they were built up correctly.
Bad.
Like only like just a couple that I've liked on the roster, but I just don't think they were built up like they should have.
Nobody's built up.
Steven, you're a football fan, right?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah.
The SmackDown Women's Division is like the Houston Texans.
Is it though? Is it?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
I mean, at least Houston has had some close wins. Close.
This is.
I mean, close, almost winning, but
It doesn't matter, bro. They're like 1-9.
okay. But the thing is, though, right? Don't you think some of it has to do with how they've been built? And I blame all of this on Vince too. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I blame all of this on Vince also.
Whether it's Vince or the talent, it's still bad. That's the point.
Hold on, let me look up the SmackDown Women's Division.
I have it right here. Okay.
Oh yeah, right there.
We should do. You know what we should do right now? We should do a tier ranking of SmackDown Women's Division wrestlers.
Just put Ronda on top.
Exactly. Natalia is solid.
Yeah.
Sasha was there. Shotzi is good. I don't know if y'all watch NXT. Xia Li was a god in NXT back in the day. Like it was building her up as like a bench of Lassie, and
then compare it to Raw's though.
No, compared to Raw is bad, but I do think a couple of them could be stars from the ones from SmackDown.
Alexa, Asuka, Bayley, Becky, Bianca.
Becky needs to be on SmackDown. I'm sorry.
Yes, yeah, she definitely needs to go.
Yeah, Becky needs to
Becky and I think
Rhea,
Io and Dakota.
Io and Dakota can be on SmackDown.
I think both could benefit from a draft. But see, this is where a draft will come in.
See?
Okay, yeah, you got me there. Because I was thinking, like, when they first did the draft from, like, last year, like, the SmackDown division was kind of looking solid. You had Sasha. You had Sasha Banks. You had Charlotte. You had,
Naomi.
Yeah, you had a couple. I'm probably just always looking at back on the draft. Sasha had no credible babyface on, like, Raw. True. I mean, outside of Ronda Shane, there's really no one. I mean, Raquel is out now.
Actually, put Bayley on SmackDown.
But you said what?
Yeah.
Put Bayley on SmackDown.
I'd put Bayley and Becky on SmackDown. They've never had like a proper one-on-one feud.
No, I like that. Yeah, Smack Bayley.
For the draft, I'd put them on the same brand and make that number one order of business.
Wait, what about? Would you put Charlotte in there also, or would you put Charlotte back on Raw?
No.
No, I'd get.
I think the Horsemen need to be apart, like 2 on Raw, 2 on SmackDown.
Oh, all right.
I would give up Charlotte to Raw for a bigger package of like key, or I don't want to say key players, but like something like damage control and someone else, because there's really nothing for Charlotte to do that doesn't involve the title on SmackDown. Because that's just how.
What did y'all think of the We Want Sasha chance during this match?
Yo, well, I was just about to tell you that I actually found the clip of that. That was wild because WWE did a great job. Because I did not hear that all match.
I didn't hear
that was
bro,
wild.
Me and Brandon were like, because we were watching the show together. We were like actually listening to the crowd because I was like, Brandon, listen how dead this crowd is, and you could feel like you could hear people's conversations. It was so quiet, and then he looks at me, and we hear, "We want Sasha." And I'm like, are they chanting "We want Sasha"? And then like 5 seconds later, they cut it off. But
no, that's wild. Damn, WWE does a great job with their crowds. I did not hear it. It's how I seen the clip on Twitter.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. No, I ain't gonna lie. One more thing before we get off. I know everyone wants to say about the draft. I don't think the draft's gonna happen until after WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, for sure not.
Oh no, for sure.
It could, like, I ain't gonna lie, SmackDown, the women's division could benefit from some people being called up from NXT. Like,
call up Roxanne and Cora Jade.
And Toxic
Attraction. No.
Yeah, call it Toxic Attraction.
Yeah, Toxic Attraction. I wouldn't call up Cora Jade yet.
They need a face, though. They need for the women's division.
Yeah, Roxanne.
And Ronda running it.
I ain't gonna lie, I will call up Roxanne, Toxic Attraction, and Indy Hartwell, and they could probably do a little something on there just to kind of boost them up. I think
Toxic Attraction fits the vibe of Raw. Like,
with their whole red theme and everything like that.
If Toxic Attraction goes to Raw, Damage Control has to go to SmackDown.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, they'll have to just swap brands at that point. But yeah, I think just at this point, you probably just need to call up a couple of people. And I feel like there's a couple of people at NXT that's like really ready to go. They're not really doing anything.
Like after Mania, we're gonna get way more call-ups than we usually do.
Yeah, and Mandy Rose too. I mean, yeah, like with this version of Mandy Rose, I would say she's probably the second best woman on that division, right behind Ronda and Shayna. She'll probably be the second best thing. Like, eyes would definitely be on SmackDown.
I don't watch NXT as much as I should, so I don't see her in the ring as much. Like, I see her in the ring, but is she good now, or is she still?
No, she's gotten better, way better. Like, she could low key put on some bangers. I ain't gonna lie, Will. She could low key put on some bangers now.
She's exceptional in the ring.
So like, if she got called up,
better than before.
Yeah, no, as long as she's better than before, because I never thought she was offensive. I just thought she needed. I just thought she needed a character and some seasoning.
And
but she was all looks. Yeah, she was all looks with no talent.
That's why I said she needed a character, because she had the
look.
Like she had the look. Like, she looks like a star.
Yeah, she's Ice Spice. All looks, no talent.
She knows how.
Mandy Rose would be a perfect Divas champion.
She knows how to put up a table now too, so that's good.
Oh, she learned.
Yeah, she finally learned how to put up a table.
Okay, make her the women's champ.
Yeah.
But after that is for this match, it would be what's the match of the night. I would listen to that argument in 14 minutes and 50 seconds. Austin Theory would defeat Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. What do y'all think of this?
What? First, a banger match. Second, Triple H, you're going to cash these hands. I'm sorry. What? Like, if you want to build, okay, he's building Theory as a star. I get that. But why did you make him lose the Money in the Bank, though? Like, you could have had him win the U.S. title and still keep Money in the Bank and kind of establish him, like, as a force to be reckoned with. Like, people could have taken him seriously, especially with this whole little gimmick that he got going on, like the serious gimmick. I like Theory winning, but, like, now looking back, that Money in the Bank cash, it just looks even worse for me, in my opinion. JC, I also agree with you, too. My bad. I agree with you.
I have to push back.
I'm going to push back because Theory's whole thing now is kind of like shedding his past. And, like, you can argue that Theory, while he was Mr. Money in the Bank, was some of his worst times during his old character. Right. So him cashing in and the briefcase, like, it's kind of like him losing that cash in was the best thing that's ever happened to him, because already him now without the briefcase was better than what he was before with the briefcase, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion.
Character-wise, I'm gonna agree with you with that.
Okay, see, this one will put back just a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all noticed, but Theory was going on like I think a 16 or something like of that number of a
17 was the exact number.
16 losing streak, right? So if
With
you
the
wanted
briefcase.
with the briefcase, right? So hear me out, because we all know most Money to Bank winners, when they're being built up, they usually lose a lot. But you could have had this serious Theory as Money to Bank, like he will lose so much to the point where he will become like the Theory that we know right now, where he could have been mad serious. He was done playing games, dropping the selfie photo on a gimmick or whatever like that, and people, you could have built him up to the point where he could have been like a legitimate threat to a guy like Roman with the money to end. He could have been like, yo, now that he's a serious threat, he also holds the Money in the Bank contract, which means probably Roman was probably looking at Raw like, oh snap, Theory might be like a legit contender and might actually take the titles off of Roman, but instead he got him failed to cash in, and then now get the Seer gimmick. Like, I see what Triple H was trying to go, but was it worth devaluing the Money in the Bank contract for it though? Like, was it worth that much?
Okay.
Because now at this point, the Money in the Bank is like, I don't even think people are gonna really care about it this much. If you could just lose it to a mid card title of all things, and it's like, what are you doing per se? That's why I'm like,
it was for the greater good.
Let's say, all right. So I'm going to like push back a little bit on the whole Money in the Bank winners always losing and shit, because if memory serves right, from 2021 to I want to say 2017, 18, the Money in the Bank winners were always these top-notch level guys from like your Brocks, your Brawns. I think the only exception here was like Otis winning, and WWE knew they fucked up, so they gave it to The Miz, and he wasn't losing. He even successfully cashed in. And the second thing about like, don't get me wrong, I have a problem with Theory cashing on the U.S. title too, but I grew up on the idea of you can cash in on any title. If you guys weren't watching WWE in like 2008 or 9, funny story, CM Punk used to walk around during segments and just look at championship, literally any championship. Maurice,
I think he even looked at the women's championship.
Yeah, he looked at the Divas title. He's just like, oh yeah, I can cash in anytime. So I was
Igma though, right? But like, you have to look at the history of the Money in the Bank. Everyone has went towards the world title. Yeah, you can cash in for any title, but we all know the Money in the Bank is really for the world title. No one wants to cash in for the U.S. title. Like, you could probably get a title shot any day you want for the U.S. title compared to a world title shot.
I'm not going to push back on that point. I just want to push back on the overall point that Theory losing the briefcase is bad. Vince put it on him too early. Like, I don't think he was ready for the briefcase, and you can argue with me on that, and I'll tell you his in-ring work was good, but we know he's not beating Roman.
Which I think he should have just won for the NXT at that bet.
I mean, that's another way to do it, but if they're dead set on him being on the main roster because that's where they think he belongs, yes, I'll agree with you, him losing it to the U.S. title was dumb, but if he loses to Roman, I kind of think it's more damage than losing to the U.S. title, because now with the U.S. title, you can just wipe his slate clean. In a few years, when he does win the big one, are we going to be sitting here talking about, oh my God, do you remember when Theory lost the briefcase? No, we're going to be talking about Austin Theory as our new world champ.
But let's see. Okay, so I'm going to push back just a little bit on this one, because I see where you're coming from. But I don't think Vince put the briefcase on him too quickly, because it kind of makes sense in a way. Because one, Vince seen, as reported from Fightful, shout out to Fightful, Vince seen Theory as the next John Cena, right? So he had him win the U.S. title. Then you had him put the briefcase on him. We all know he wasn't going to cash in right then and there. I thought Vince was going to have him Theory cash in on Roman at WrestleMania to put him over as that big star. Like, this is this is the future of WWE. So I don't think Vince put him on too quickly. I think Vince had one of those rare times where he had a long-term plan for what he had for Theory at the time. Now, with the whole allegations, whatever happened with Vince, it kind of fucked Theory up a little bit because Triple H didn't put the briefcase on him. Vince did. Vince had a long-term plan, not Triple H. So I don't think the briefcase was put it on. I don't think Vince put the briefcase on him too early because I think Vince had a plan that he was going to be a huge star and he was going to cash in eventually on Roman. Because I still believe Theory was going to be the guy to dethrone Roman at one point, or at least Cody was going to dethrone him, and then Theory was going to just cash in right then and there for the title. And I think he's going to have a Randy Orton. I think he's going to have a Randy Orton run where it's just a month and then he drops the title.
I got 2 points, and then
I have one too after
that. One. So you're saying that they were going to have us wait at WrestleMania 39. I don't know how many days it'll be. I assume it's close to like
1,000.
1,000 by then. But you're telling me we waited 1,000 days for Roman Reigns, one of the greatest champs of the greatest champion of our generation, to lose to Austin Theory?
That's what we
they did the same thing with Seth. We waited a whole year for him to cash in. Like, I don't know why he couldn't.
No, we didn't.
No, Brock's reign at that time was nowhere near the same importance as Roman.
Comparing 2000,
no, but I'm saying like when Seth won the Money in the Bank, was it? Did he? It was like a year before that he cashed in.
No, it wasn't a year.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we put the belt on Roman for 1,000 days. We built him up. We called him
right now it's
the greatest champion this company has ever seen. The tribal chief, God mode, the greatest of all time. For him to lose to Austin Theory on a cash-in.
Oh, you making that point? Okay. I see what you're saying.
Like, the payoff has to be bigger. Like, Cody Rhodes, that's the payoff that I'm looking for.
They could have done that also. Have Theory win, but then I have Cody beat Roman. Then have Theory catch in like 5 minutes later.
But for Cody to beat Roman and lose to Theory on a cash-in makes Cody look weaker, which in turn intensifies the ending of Roman's title reign.
Yeah, because cash-ins actually devalue the previous match.
But that would have made Theory Theory was already a heel at the time. I think that would have made Theory even bigger of a heel because he ruined Cody Rhodes' moment, a moment that everyone wanted Cody to have. Let's say for example, like hypothetically, let's say Kofi Mania, right, happened, right? Let's say Theory had the Money in the Bank contract. If he cashed in on Kofi right then and there, that would have made Theory again the ultimate heel and had Kofi the ultimate babyface, where he probably could have had Kofi beat Theory hypothetically, maybe at a SummerSlam to really pick Kofi over or something like that. Like I still think there was a plan for Theory. Like I think they could have done it some way to make Theory look strong and also make Cody and Roman whatever look strong at the same time.
But is that what type of heat is that? Is that like legitimate? Like he's good, but we don't like him, or is that go away heat?
That's go away heat.
Because it doesn't.
I legitimately think there would be a good volume of fans who, if he did that, ruin Cody's moment, and Roman's title reign ended. I think there's a level of go away heat from fans because I don't think people would have liked that, and it's not because like, oh well that's good, but we just don't like it. It's just I don't think people would have received it well, and I think it would have translated to how they treat Theory, and I think it might have hurt him. I can't predict the future, but I think it might have hurt him.
I'm gonna push back on what you said, Steven, about Vince having a plan for Theory. I don't think Vince had a plan at all. I think Theory has more of a direction right now with the United States title Triple H than he did when he had the Money in the Bank thing. Because like you said,
but he had go ahead.
Like you said, people were saying, "Oh, Theory is gonna be the next huge star," and Vince's problem, like when he was still running, was doing stuff in the moment and giving the fans instant gratification for himself too. Because now you have the next huge star, but that doesn't mean push them to the moon right away. It has to be the right slow build up, like the way Theory is now. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I know. I see where you're coming from. Actually, I see where you're coming from.
And another thing is, we want to talk about them recreating John Cena or Randy Orton. There will never be another John Cena or Randy Orton. So why are we still trying in 2022? Go build the first Austin Theory.
Okay, I think, well, the way I look, whenever I say someone's going to be the next something, I don't mean the exact thing, but you will see
you mean the meteoric rise. Yes.
Yeah, like you will see the similarities between the two. I don't think they're. I agree with you. I don't think they're ever going to be the next Cena or The Rock or any of those guys. I think those guys are just so big. I don't think no one can recreate those guys. But there's definitely some like similarities where you can be like, oh, like you'll see Theory and Cena kind of had the same come up and stuff like that, but they were just never.
I get that, but
come up
now my point in saying that is when we look back, when Theory's a big star, I don't think people are going to recognize how he took off in the same breath as how Cena and Orton and The Rock took off. They hit it on their first night on TV. They hit the gas and didn't stop until they earned themselves a spot in the Hall of Fame. Theory's momentum was stunted when he won the briefcase, I think, because they had, like, I disagree when you say they had a plan. I don't think they had a plan. I think they just said, this is a good moment, we're going to give it to him, and we're going to recognize him as the biggest star, or the biggest young star, but beyond that, we're just going to play it by ear. That stunts a young guy's growth, because if they don't know where they're going, in every moment that they're in, they're living in the now, and they have no inkling of an idea of what the end game actually is going to be. And as someone in the business who's kind of young, and Randy and John Cena are rare exceptions, like I said, but not everybody can do what they do. Not everybody can hit the gas and just be this meteoric success story that they want to build. Like, I really, really do not think you are ever going to see a rise to the top as fast as those guys ever. As much as they want to try. They've tried it before with other people, and it hasn't worked.
Yeah, like with the whole Roman thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I see where you're coming from.
So I think if they took it slow and, got Theory over in the eyes of the people like they're trying to do now. Over. But when they're trying to get these reactions, like, I don't know if you watched the bump before Survivor Series, but the reactions he was getting and the answers he was giving to the questions they were asking him was probably some of the best work he's done so far on the main roster, because now they're taking it slow and they're showcasing what Theory can do when you make him serious.
But Will, right? Before we move on, right? But Will, though, right? You have to understand we're in a different age of wrestling. Back in the day, you could have gotten away with maybe building someone slow and building them up. But nowadays, bro, niggas got such short span attention. Like, yeah, short attention span. Like, you can't just have someone build. Like, if you don't push them like right then and there to the moon, people will get bored and people will move on. Just like we've seen this on multiple occasions. The Liv thing. Everyone wanted Liv to win out of nowhere. People got tired of them, got tired of her, and moved on. Like, we have seen.
But that's a direct result of the work we're seeing on TV not being as good as people thought it should have been.
Yeah, but Phil, you have to agree with me. Like, bro, people want everything. Everyone want everything right now. They don't want these slow build up. They want. If everyone wanted Theory to get pushed, they want him to win the world title right now. So that means beating Roman on a random episode of SmackDown. If that's what they want, they might do it just because that's what people want right now. No one ever thinks long term like us, like true, like diehard wrestling fans compared to like some of the casual.
Steven. So I would agree with you on the cash in for like the world title, instant gratification, living the moment, and all that stuff. But let's view it from a storyline point. Just like someone said, Theory was on a 12, 13, 14 losing streak, right? Like, he was losing for that many weeks, right? If we were going off of a storyline where Austin Theory is fed up and tired of being a goddamn loser to the point where he snaps and all he does is look at the briefcase, it would make sense for him to cash in on the U.S. side. He's like, you know what? I'm tired of being a loser. I've got this briefcase. Roman's never around. I want to be a champ. Cash in. That would be, he snapped. He wants gold. He wants instant gratification for himself. He's not thinking about, let me be a world champion. I want to be a champion. That would make sense. A crazy, snapped, gold-lusted Austin Theory would be the best thing ever. But because of he used a Money in the Bank briefcase that everyone would use for the world title, and everyone's forgetting the whole. Well, Roman's not here about a good majority of the time. He shows up, cuts a promo, and he leaves. If it were Roman's having a match, Austin Theory can cash in. Like we gotta remember that with the briefcase, Austin Theory wasn't given the opportunity to cash in on Roman on times when he was down, and when he did have those times, someone knocked his ass out. So as much as I hate the,
but he could have.
As much as I hate him cashing in on the U.S. title, I hate how they went about it. But from how I would have done it, which again would be, I'm tired of losing for these past 12, 13 weeks. I want to be a champion. If that's how they would have done it, I would have been fine with this. Because again, Roman's not around. He shows up for 5 minutes and he leaves. And what the hell is Mr. Money in the Bank with no world champion around?
But the thing is though, right, Igma? Like, but Theory could have easily, because I'm going back to like when he was teamed up with Vince. He could have easily just went and go ask for a title shot, and he could just easily just put his Money in the Bank on the line. Like, you don't always have to cash in. That is like what everyone does, but you could just ask for a title match and then cash in your title just like that. You don't have to wait for Roman to have a match and then cash in. Like, you can go backstage, tell Triple H, "Yo, I want a title match." They could have done it like that, but at the same time,
how many of those have been successful?
None. But they could have went. I'd rather them go about it like that than have them cash in on an open challenge at that to a mid-card title.
Oh, no, that's actually number one for me. That it was an open challenge. I told my friend about this, and this is the best comparison I'll ever use. Seth. Austin Theory cashing in on an open challenge is that SpongeBob episode of SpongeBob and Patrick going to jail, throwing themselves in jail on Free Balloon Day.
That's kind of hilarious. I ain't gonna.
Like, to me, that's the comparison I always make. You're over here crying, complaining that you stole a balloon on Free Balloon Day, and Austin Theory cashed in on an open challenge. It was a free 99 challenge, dude. You could have just showed up.
And
that's the real problem.
Can I talk about a comment in the chat?
Sure.
It's when Roman drops the title, it's going to be a major storyline, not a cash in. That is the point. That is the perfect word. That's the perfect sentence I was trying to find when explaining why that what we were talking about earlier with Cody winning and then Theory cashing in. Roman losing the title is going to be legitimately the biggest thing in wrestling probably since CM Punk returned. Everybody is going to be talking about it. Cody is going to be a living legend, basically, when he beats Roman. And you're going to take that away for him to get some heat on Theory, who knows if it'll last.
But, like, it would have been legit heat, though, because Theory already had, like, legit heat. Like, people legit did not like him. So him doing that would have, like, created even more heat. Like, it would have been like the Roman situation where he beat The Undertaker and dude couldn't even get a sentence off because that's how much they were booing him. Like,
I'm gonna use your own point against you. We know how the fans feel about Cody. We know how the fans feel about Roman. You talk about Liv winning the title and the fans turning on her. Who's to say it won't happen to Theory? The world title right now, when you have Cody Rhodes gift wrapped and put under your Christmas tree right there for you, the only man who should beat Roman, why are you putting that in jeopardy to take a chance on a kid who you don't even know if it'll work out?
And you're hoping for a moment.
Right.
The moment, because what happens after?
Yeah, you're not aiming for what we're going to do next month. You're hoping for us to close out WrestleMania on a sea of boos.
That's the instant gratification. Theory has more of a plan now with the U.S. title than he would have cashed in the Money in the Bank with all that stuff with Vince.
It's let him cook. Let him become better in every aspect of his game. So one day we're talking about him, Austin Theory, like we're talking about guys like Drew and Cody and Roman, where we can say we know that if we put the title on him now, he will be loved.
But everyone, but the thing is, especially with social media, everyone lives for moments, nowadays. So
I
like
disagree.
maybe I'm looking at it from like a different aspect.
But that's how we've been conditioned.
That's how I've been conditioned. But when we don't actually realize that the majority are actually hardcore fans. That's the majority. There's gonna be the people who want the moment, but the majority are the people who like the long-term booking. And it doesn't show now, but in 3 years, everybody's gonna realize that this was the best thing that's happened to Theory.
No, I can say that it could be, it could potentially be, but I'm gonna have to see how this plays out. I'm just still stuck on like y'all might say like, oh, like Vince didn't have a plan for Theory, but I think he did, because like you don't just randomly add him to the Money in the Bank match right after losing the U.S. title if you obviously didn't have a plan for him. Like you don't just do that out the blue. And plus I heard he was already planned to win the Money in the Bank. So I mean, he still has a lot of time. Theory's 25. He still has a lot of time to be champ.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he does, but like again, you have to remember, people want everything now. Like we all have to hope this whole new Theory thing actually works out.
But if Austin Theory is as good as people say he is, which I think he is, I'm not an Austin Theory hater. I'm just saying, if he's good as people say he is, people will like him as much at 28, 29 as they do at 25.
Has Theory not been one of the best things on Raw right now?
Yes, and people are starting to notice.
I think he probably is right now, Karen. I think he's probably the best thing, especially with this U.S. title win. I think he will be the best thing.
He's been doing the best mic work, the best matches ever since he's lost the briefcase. That's not normal. That's a good thing.
That's good, yeah. But I'm on that Theory hype train. I'm gonna see how this work out. If things keep going the way it is, then I will agree with you guys, man. Maybe this probably was the greatest thing that happened to Theory. But like, I still don't like that. It devalued the hell out the Money in the Bank contract for me.
I understand that. Yeah, I understand.
Well, I know we probably want to move on, but let me just make a point right quick. They gave up about caring about the Money in the Bank contract when they gave it to Otis, had him lose it to The Miz, had The Miz beat Drew McIntyre, lose it to Bobby Lashley a week later, and
they had The Miz lose it at WrestleMania. But go ahead.
Or just not give it to him because I'm not going to get in that argument. Y'all know how I feel about Miz.
Yeah, you just slandered The Miz last time you were on here.
The Money in the Bank briefcase hasn't meant anything since
Seth.
2017.
Yes, and Seth.
Who won it in 2017?
Yeah, who won it in 2017?
Never mind. 2016.
That was Corbin, bro. What are you
2016. 2016.
Corbin sucked. Braun sucked.
Braun didn't even cash in. He just gave up his Money in the Bank contract.
He took the Cena route. He took the Cena route.
Yeah, he announced his cash-in for a match in Hell on Cell.
It's just they haven't cared about it in a long time. So why?
So yeah, the briefcase has been devalued. That's not.
But I think this could have been a way to like maybe make it as prestigious as it was back in 2015 and like the older days. But
bro, it won't become prestigious until they put it back on WrestleMania and give it to somebody who knows what they're doing with the briefcase. For the past 6 years, we've given it to people who go around, treat it like a prop, and tease their cash-ins like idiots. Give it to, I think if we want to make it prestigious, you give it to a veteran. I'm not saying they've had to hold it before. Give it to a veteran who knows the psychology of having something as mysterious as this briefcase, and just let him run.
How about Finn?
Finn, yeah, that's a great name. He knows the psychology of professional wrestling. He can carry that briefcase and put on good matches and be one of the most consistent workers on the show and actually work feuds while holding the briefcase so that he looks strong until the day that he cashes in.
Yeah, that's why the Seth one was so good, because he actually had feuds like with Cena, Brock, and all that.
Yeah.
That's why it was so
and
good. LA Knight, I ain't gonna lie, LA Knight will be the guy. I'll put the Money in the Bank contract to like elevate it a little bit.
I think he could do it. KO, too. Someone said KO.
Yeah, Kevin Owens is good. Well, if they do it at WrestleMania, then he's not going to win it. But, like, for future, yeah, he's a good one.
But That's the way you make it prestigious. Not giving it to a rookie 25-year-old because of the moment.
No,
In a match he wasn't in.
Oh yeah, that's kind of wild, Vince. I ain't gonna lie. Just added him like.
That was the triple threat match for the United States Championship. Let's talk about the men's War Game match. That was 38 minutes, 3 seconds. Would end with Sami Zayn turning on his former brother / best friend, Kevin Owens, to get Bloodline to win. This was prestige storytelling. Even everything about
that one felt like a good 20 minutes.
Yeah.
This one flowed just so much better than the women's.
It's like every time a cage door opened, everything camera work was crazy.
Well, I think the reason why, 'cause I think this one had like the huge Sammy story behind it compared to like.
Oh yeah! Shout out to all the little backstage segments before this.
Yeah, no. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick.
Oh, those segments are amazing.
Now, I see.
I want this match like sort of like a build, but I think that's like that kind of just wrapped everything.
You want some little psychological things that'll mess with your mind when you watch wrestling. You put Roman Reigns and his family in it, and give them a story like this, you will have moment after moment after moment that are going to be huge leading up to WrestleMania. Like, the day they turn on Sammy, people are legitimately going to shed tears.
Yeah, that's what was so good about these segments. I legit thought that either Jay or Sammy was going to get kicked out at the end of the night, but it was neither.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Roman, I ain't gonna lie. Roman kind of had me shaking. Like, bro, if you kick out Sammy, Roman, you gonna have to see me, bro. Because I do not want to see Sammy out the bloodline. That was good. Shout out to Triple H and Roman. Like, the way he was able to do that with the segments was wild. I like the Jay one a lot though, because Jay was literally preying on Sami Zayn's downfall. Like. The scene of Jay.
Yeah,
we can get on Roman for not being on TV or wrestling or whatnot, but people don't give him enough credit for caring. I've seen people slandering his.
Yeah, I can't argue.
I've seen people slandering his work ethic and the way he doesn't show up to work as much, or the way he hadn't, not as much now. But people need to start putting some respect on how much Roman cares about these storylines.
Because they're impactful to his legacy. Like, we're like, this is gonna be something we talk about like 10 years from now.
Oh yeah, the night that they turn on Sami Zayn, it's gonna be one of the biggest ones.
I do wish. Okay, I do wish that in the middle of the segment, well, not in the middle, like right after the segments, each time Roman spoke with like Sammy or Jay, or they showed the replay of the conversation, what they would also do is show a replay of Sammy and Kevin facing each other.
Yes.
Like Kevin Owens' heel turn in NXT, their match at Battleground, their match at Mania, like all these reasons why Sammy shouldn't trust Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh Igma, thank you that you bring that up. A lot of people were mentioning that on TikTok, like how like Sammy teaming back up with Kevin Owens doesn't make sense, and him staying with the Bloodline makes more sense because I remember KO was the biggest hater when Sami Zayn won the NXT title.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the biggest hater? Like, it's like, why would I want to team up with you, even though you have hated on me my entire career? We're not going to stay with the Bloodline.
Yeah, like elevate myself. Not just WWE, like Ring of Honor too, like Kevin Cena, El Generico days.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, this is why I don't want the breakup to happen because of that history. Like, do you want to team up with a guy? Because who knows? Kevin Owens, they can win the titles off the Usos, and Kevin Owens just turned on him right then and there. Like, I'm just looking at.
I think the whole dynamic and the whole psychology of the whole thing is just good for TV.
Oh, it's perfect for TV, honestly.
Like, it's just it's going to be compelling TV every week. When they come on the screen, you're going to tell your family to shut up, and you're going to listen to what's on the TV.
Like, all the way to after the match. The perfect like closing shot is they're all posing, but Jay and Roman are still looking at Sammy. It's like little things that they throw in like that are just making it perfect.
I feel like
do they not still trust him though? Like, I mean, bro, like Sammy has sacrificed his body for the Bloodline.
That's what's great about the work that they're doing. You don't know where the story's going.
Right.
And one thing never mind, I forgot. the little small meticulous details that you almost don't notice, but you know are there. Like you can't put your finger on it, but you know there's a dynamic to it. That's what made those segments so good, and that's what made the ending so good. It's
like the little
made
things.
Yes, the little things that weren't there when Vince was there. The attention to detail. It's just why. It's just why it's so perfect, because they put so much attention to detail into it, and it made the moment better.
And out of all the brawls that happened on SmackDown with the Brutes and the Bloodline, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn didn't touch once until last night.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I
And
feel
the
like
moment
made it
meant
even
more.
better. The moment meant more.
Even in the match. So
Yeah.
they kept teasing it, and then boom, at the end.
And that's just why people are going to care about this so much, because everything they do, the little things, these small details, they mean a lot towards the moment.
Honestly, it's better not to have Roman there every week where he feels like it's a big deal. No, I see where you're coming from.
To an extent.
I think you need to have a good balance.
Exactly, because you still, again, you're still forgetting about Raw as if they're just not a brand, as if they don't have a world championship.
For the story they're telling with the Bloodline, it makes a bunch of sense for them to do it like this, but also like for the titles, the Raw side of things, it hurts them immensely.
I know USA Network mad as fuck right now. They like, man, this nigga Roman don't ever show up to our network.
Like they've got nothing.
Nothing.
Triple H is like, you're getting Dana Brooke and you're going to be happy with it.
Like, this is an option. It's straight up mandatory.
Dana Brooke.
Oh crap!
You guys might not have Roman Reigns, but we can give you our second best option, Dana Brooke. Take it or leave it.
Dana Brooke.
USA Network's probably like, God so help us, if you don't give us a war title, we will sign AEW.
Oh my God! Hey! That would be wild. I mean, their deal is up in 2 years, so what if Sammy cost them the titles and beat the?
I don't think that's the end game. I think the end game.
Okay.
I think it's going to come down to Sammy fighting for his spot in the Bloodline some other way, and he fails and they kick him out. Like, I don't think it has to do with him costing them anything, because he's already gained them so much.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. That will be the perfect. That could be like a kind of like a Hell in a Cell kind of thing. For you can have Jay. Oh yeah, exactly. You can have Jay versus Sammy like in the Hell in a Cell match. If the Jay wins, Sammy's out. If Sammy wins, Sammy's like a full-time Uso. Like his name will be Sammy Uso, just like everyone else.
Like someone literally, JC Pentagon in the comments took the exact words right out of my mouth.
Yeah,
they are going to turn on him at Elimination Chamber in Montreal, and then that's how we're going to get the KO Sammy and Usos thing.
But like, where do you like? My thing is though, like. What would the Bloodline gain from turning on Sammy? Like, he done sacrifice so much for like.
Sammy's given so.
I can see him costing the Usos the tag titles before the Universal title, but yeah, something like that.
I ain't gonna lie. I will book it the way like I'm making about you. I would have had like the way everything's going. If you want to make Sammy a face, I would have had him either cost Roman the match, like a title match, or have him be the guy that dethroned Roman. I ain't gonna lie.
I'll say this. I think to get to the whole tag feud, I think you kind of need to do Sammy KO. And I think a good place for it to happen is Montreal. So after Roman and KO at the Rumble, if I'm looking at it like in what I'd want to see, KO is gonna say, you know, I couldn't beat Roman, but Sammy is the reason I'm in this situation, and I need to give him his payback. Since that's the closest thing I'm going to get to satisfaction. And the Bloodline kind of say, well, you got us into this whole thing because you chose your loyalty to us. Now you're going to fight for your spot in the Bloodline against KO. And then it'll be in Montreal. The crowd will be on his side. He loses. The Usos turn on him. KO sees it. and joins forces with Sami, runs the bloodline out, and that's how we get to WrestleMania.
The thing with that is too, because I know WWE don't really care for the past, but I feel like in this instance they should, because how do we know Kevin Owens won't turn on Sami right after?
And this is
Like,
what I was
are we
gonna say
sure?
earlier.
Like, Kevin Owens is like one of the biggest heel that I know.
Yeah,
The only
we can
thing
expect
is,
a heel turn
though,
from Kevin Owens any minute.
the thing is though, I feel like because of the past, it's like the vibe between Sammy and KO now is that no matter what happens, they're gonna be brothers because they've grown together from it. So, first of all, I don't think they're gonna go a route with having Kevin turn on Sammy because it's been done so many times. They've fought so many times. At this point, it's kind of just like after they become tag team champions, they just stay mutuals. Because I mean, like you can't. It's been done so many times, like so many
I
times.
think you can make them the biggest baby faces in the company if you really wanted to.
I'm trying to
For
think
a
of
very
good-
long time.
Also,
trying to think of a
if
good
/
example.
when Kevin Owens wins tag titles, he finally becomes Grand Slam, and it's probably picture perfect story to become Grand Slam by being with like his long term best friend.
That'd be cool.
like
Well, like,
DX, like DX, how they turned to each other so many times and had all those matches, but in the end, just came together. And even after their last run as DX, they just stayed close.
Oh, it was like
That's-
one heel turn.
Yeah, but they didn't have like hella matches though.
Yeah, they had hella
It
matches. but
happened
was
like
one
twice.
heel turn.
Triple H turned like how many times? Was it not 2 times?
No,
Am I
it was
tripping?
one. It was one straight up heel turn. Then they had like 50 matches. Kevin Owens has
The first
turned.
time is Michael's left the company for a little bit.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens done stabbed what's
Sammy
the
in the
name?
back like 5 times.
5 times exactly. Yeah, this is why I can't. This is why I'm not on board with the whole storyline. It's just like we can't trust Kevin Owens. Like this is the guy that played babyface for so long and out of nowhere just turned heel. Like
I
can we
think
really
if it
trust
was anyone but Sammy, I could take this with a grain of salt. But because it's Kevin Owens to Sammy and not vice versa, it's like, dude, you turned on him like 50 times. How do you have room to talk about betrayal?
But here's the thing, and here's another thing I'll say. KO, I don't think is mad at Sammy. He's trying to save him from the bloodline. So, with that being said, that kind of shows his intention to where I think you can say confidently that he's not going to turn. But I think if like the match I talked about between them turning into a tag team, KO's motivation in beating Sammy could be to get him out of the bloodline because he knows the bloodline is going to turn on him if he gets kicked out. Something like that.
But Will,
that
go
sounds
ahead.
great and everything. But I'm viewing this from like Sammy's mentality where he would have like this mental struggle where it's like, oh, we've been best friends for so long, and I should take your words with a grain of salt. Like you've been there for me, you've been at my weddings, etc., etc. And then it's like, but you've also turned on me 5 times. So why should I believe you? Like, who are you to tell me these people are going to turn on me? Like, if How to Turn on Someone was a book, you would be the author and you would be writing every page.
I think there's ways to
go about it.
To write it that you could go about it. Like, I don't think I think it's a good point to make, but I don't think it's like a closed book.
No, it's not a closed book. I'm just saying like, that would be like the mental struggle I could imagine why
Like
Sammy
the big
wouldn't be on
storyline.
board with it.
The big storyline going into that match could be Sammy questioning KO because after what he did to him and all the stuff he's been through, and KO earning his trust, like saying, "I've been trying to get you out of this for the past 5 months, and now I finally did. Why would I turn on you?" Like, there's ways you can book it to go get around it.
Yeah, of course.
But my thing with this too also is just like I'm just not trying to see KO and Sammy back together. I'm gonna keep it a whole stack with you. I'm pretty much over them even being a team anymore.
Not even if it's to pay off this feud.
No, at all. I'm like, cause I'm on the bandwagon of Sammy should like If this is going to be a storyline where Sami get kicked out, I think Sami should just go full force after Roman, and he could potentially, or even do, dethrone Roman Reigns.
Then what?
Okay, again, I'm Vince over here. I don't know where you go from that. I don't know where you go from that. I'm just looking for that moment. Yeah, I don't know where you go from that. I'm just looking for that moment.
That question. Then what?
I don't know. Triple H is gonna make it work somehow. I don't know. I don't know where you go from that.
Okay, so let's say we don't get the tag titles again, right? I think what we should get, I do think what we should get is at WrestleMania, Jay versus Sami in a Hell in a Cell match, or just Jay just beats the shit out of him.
But you can't keep the tag titles off.
You can't keep the tag titles.
Oh no, we're getting the titles off the Usos by that point.
Against who?
I say you do that if Sami ends up.
Oh, against the Brutes, against the Brawling Brutes.
No, they've already had two chances and lost.
They've had 2 chances and lost clean.
They had 2 chances?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought they only had 1. God damn it.
SmackDown, an episode of SmackDown. And
maybe it gets costed against the Judgment Day or something.
Okay, never mind. I thought they only had 1 chance.
I just don't.
I could see him.
Like I said, think about the payoff.
No. Well, you're right. You definitely caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting you to say what's next. I could have bugged you.
Well, yeah, that's
think about the payoff. If you take the titles off of the Usos before WrestleMania, you're telling me you are okay with the past X amount of days being taken away because we want a one-off Hell in a Cell match with Sami Zayn.
When it doesn't really even warrant a Hell in a Cell match.
Right. It's not what Sami and Roman may warrant a Hell in a Cell match. Maybe. Jay, who's a side character, and Sami, who is a main character, that's not Hell in a Cell. Now, Sami and KO against the Usos, that's the match.
Sami and KO taking the titles off Usos does more damage to Roman than it would Sami beating Roman, because Sami has been with the Bloodline so long already, and he knows how the Usos work. And once Roman's 2 cousins lose the titles, it's gonna already cause like a
it puts more on Roman's plate.
Exactly right. like how he was before. Like, in order to be in this bloodline, you have to be champions. And when they lose that, it's gonna do more mental damage to Roman and mess up his game. Excuse. Yeah.
Well, he was brought in to be the protector.
He was just brought in to be the protector.
Gotcha.
He's the street champ, apparently.
Yeah.
That man ain't never fought on the street in his life.
I ain't gonna lie. Brandon just brought something to my head. I think I might revoke Sami beating Roman for the titles, because I just remembered I heard the Rock is locked in for WrestleMania 39 versus Roman, and I don't think Roman's gonna wrestle both nights. I actually take that back. I don't think he's gonna be able to wrestle both nights.
Sami and KO versus the Usos is also locked in for WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I heard about that. Yeah. I was so pissed when I heard that. I'm like,
we're
God
just
damn.
fantasy booking at this point.
Yeah, we know what we want, but like that.
Yeah, like we know what's locked in. We're just fantasy booking at this point.
Am I crazy enough for thinking Jay versus Sami could happen while both of them in the bloodline? I think it could, but I think that could add more friction between the bloodline.
I think if they don't want to do KO versus Sami, I think they do KO versus Jay, or not KO, but Sami versus Jay, and that's how they get Sami out.
Right.
But
I think we'll get an idea of what's going to go down with this first promo, how Sami and Jay interacted with each other, whether it's like that, or they're like fully accepted and they're just going to go all in with the team for a little bit.
Yo, Russell Spot, watch him have like an initiation for Sami to become a full-time Uso.
Sami's going to come out with the Uso hair.
From taking the pin. Like what else as an initiation does he need? Haluva kick your best friend, low blow your best friend, save the Tribal Chief from getting pinned.
Like a celebration, Igma, like kind of like a celebration, or so I don't fucking know. I'm actually like, this is how you like learn.
I think Sami has passed through all trial and tribulation at this point. Like when someone says,
"What are y'all finna do?"
It's like, how?
What are y'all finna do if Sami comes out with the Uso hair?
I'm a cry. But just imagine,
I'm gonna start dying with laughter.
They do like a Sami or celebration, welcome back, and then they just turn on like, okay, we only needed you to take out Owens, neutralize Owens. Now you're done. That's the only purpose he served.
It can kind of be like how KO did Chris Jericho with their best friends thing, like when he put on that whole thing.
That could look write Sami off for a while. I mean, I wouldn't.
Then that's what they need to do when they kick Sami out of the bloodline. He needs to be gone off TV for a little bit, and he needs to.
That's just
he needs to
people want him to be back. Yeah.
And when he comes back, he needs to come back with his old theme and his old look.
True.
So what do we think Friday?
I think an initiation party happens on Friday for
you
Sami.
think they turn then,
or celebration for Sami?
I don't think.
I think it's way too early.
I would do it.
Yeah, I think it's way too early for them to be teasing a turn. I think maybe after the Rumble. After the Rumble,
I would turn them as soon as possible and have Sami come and eliminate Jay out of the Rumble or something to start that feud going.
Whoa! Wrestle spot.
What's up?
That's kind of weird that Jay will be in the Rumble, even though his cousin is the one holding the titles.
I know, but I mean, yeah, that is true. I ain't gonna lie.
But that could set up. That could set up.
That could be a story where Roman's like,
why are you joining the Rumble?
No, he said to Usos,
go win the Rumble because there's no one else for me to beat. So I'm gonna have WrestleMania off this year or something like that.
Yeah,
that could be a triple threat though. Rock, Jay, Roman. Jay can go back to what happened in 2020 at Hell in the Cell.
Why are we still acting like main event Jay is a thing though? That was
it's not.
That's past its point.
Jay was a moment.
It was a moment, but that's all it is.
But it's still good. It was still good though.
It was a good moment.
No, as a Jey Uso fan, I'm kind of just holding on to that. So that's fine.
I mean, I like Jay.
Was a good moment. Kofi Mania was a good moment.
I'm just saying, you put him in the ring next to The Rock and Roman. Are we for real?
Jay crumbles.
It's not even a fight.
All in all, though, War Games.
At best, Jay could be the ref for that match. Winner of the Rumble gets to be the ref between Rock and Roman.
Like a special guest referee.
Yeah, that's the winner of the Rumble. The ref for Rock versus Roman. I will say though that I would be pissed if Rock's number 30.
I'm gonna be excited because I'm gonna be in the crowd, but I'm gonna totally understand why people would be unhappy.
I don't want him. I want him to be in the Rumble, but I don't want him to be 30.
Yeah, because 30 is too predictable. You probably have him at 20 in the 20s.
22. 22 is always the number that I expect somebody unexpected.
What would be hilarious is if Cody win at number 29, so everybody thinks Cody's gonna win, but Rock comes out and wins it at 30.
Yeah, that's why I want. That's why I want Rock at 30 because I want everyone to get their moments in. Because if Rock comes in at 15, 16, 17, or up to 22, he's eliminating your favorites.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Imagine the pop there. Oh my god.
Just let him come out at 30.
If Cody ends up returning early, you should be scared, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think the one build that we're not talking about is the Rock and Cena build. I mean, I said the Rock and Cena. The Rock and Roman build.
Well, because we really don't even know. We don't know if it's gonna happen. We just don't know if it's gonna happen.
I heard. Okay, don't quote me in this chat, but I seen on the Fightful page. Yeah, I heard the Rock is pretty much a lock for WrestleMania.
Oh, okay, if it's Fightful, then that's good. I thought you were getting it from Zero News or something.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing. Because he don't have anything planned.
Zero News is absolute garbage. I don't know why anybody listens to what they report.
Because the Rock doesn't have anything planned. Like he's free that entire quarter.
He's starting the XFL, and this would be a good chance for him to promote that with the WWE.
Exactly. I don't know how they gonna do that build because
it's gonna be good.
They already did it. Rock literally built the match with one sentence with whatever interview he did, and he's just like, "I don't want to say names, but you're looking at the tribal chief." Boom, there's your main event mania.
No, oh my god, they should do that with Roman. Play that clip and kind of just tick Roman off.
That's it. That is it. That's your feud. That's your build. That's the promo.
You Sami to reach out to the
background, whatever.
And that's what snaps Roman on Sami.
Oh, Russell, I like your hair right there. That low-key could be some. I don't know. I'm not gonna hate the Rock and the Roman build, but I'm gonna hate at the same time just because the way that Vince did the Rock and Cena build at WrestleMania 27. It was like a yearly build. It was like good from start to finish, but I feel like they should have done it like that.
Is what are we doing Monday?
I'm sorry.
Bro, Igma, why are you always thinking long term, bro? I'm starting to hate that. Like, can we just live in the moment sometimes? Like, God.
No, we can't. Because we've got a guy that is literally about to be on some Bruno Sammartino shit, which I'm convinced that if we go 3 years Roman, let him break that goddamn record to the point where it's like, well, we don't have money in the bank. We need Cody to beat him at this point. All right,
Yeah.
Roman beating Rock, that's fucking huge. But what are we doing Monday, Friday? What pay-per-view is in April? Backlash. He's not gonna do jack shit there. He's probably gonna show up around SummerSlam. Oh yeah, congrats. Cody beats Roman at a SummerSlam. Oh no, Cody needs to win at a Mania. Congratulations, we're gonna go 4 years.
But Igma, I think with something like that, maybe Roman just goes off the TV for a while. Because it isn't how
I don't really expect to see him in December, to be honest with you.
Roman?
Yeah.
He probably might show up for like one SmackDown.
Maybe
that's
like
probably about it.
I see him showing up this Friday, and that's it.
True.
And then Paul will be the.
Hold up, the wrestling lady, man. Yo, shout out to her, bro.
Yeah. Shout out to wrestling lady.
If we get the Rock versus Roman, I need Cody winning Money in the Bank. But the thing is, though, I don't know if y'all watch a press conference. I think Money in the Bank is staying as a pay-per-view.
I don't think so.
Not a fan of that.
I don't think so.
Because the way he was talking.
I mean,
but he's obviously not going to tell us.
Yeah, he's not going to be like, oh, yeah, guys, well, yeah, I'm going to get rid of Money in the Bank. And
he didn't say that, but like the way he was talking, because a guy asked him about the Hell in a Cell.
As of now, Roman's not advertised for SmackDown this Friday.
No, Triple H definitely 100% confirmed that he's getting rid of Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
like the explanation he gave on how it should be, he's getting rid
his
of
answer was perfect.
His answer was perfect.
No, I'm not really a big fan of Money in the Bank being at WrestleMania, but I mean, I can see why people might like it.
I miss it. I think it's just a childhood thing, to be honest with you.
Same.
I think, but it's like the Money in the Bank. I think the way Vince was trying to. Yeah, it might seem more. No, because when you have something like that at Mania, you could just cash in. That could be a great moment for whoever wins. But the thing. Go ahead. I'm trying to get my thought.
I feel like getting rid of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view and putting the two Money in the Bank matches on Mania gets rid of those just
fillers,
pointless battle royals that don't need to happen.
Yeah.
Get rid of the battle royals.
I forgot about those.
Put Money in the Bank and give it some actual story and put some people on there. Those it's just better. It's just all in the end better. And then instead of Money in the Bank, you got King of the Ring.
Flow better too.
I can already kind of envision what 2023 for WWE is going to look like, and I'm really excited
because we know what they're doing right now is probably not what Triple H would be doing if he had been in power for the whole year. So I think what we see up until Mania is going to kind of be a direct result of what Vince kind of set up. But after Mania, when there's nothing continuing or very few things continuing, and it's all Triple H, we're going to see more of the stuff that he envisioned in a faster amount of time.
And it all starts with the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to change everything.
And I think you're going to see the draft. I think the draft is going to be more competitive.
It's actually going to mean something this time.
Yes. Like getting... In the NFL, when you get drafted first overall, what does that mean?
That means a lot.
The team that selected you thought you were the best player in the draft.
Was it Big E? I believe Big E or someone. I want to say Big E was selected number one, if I'm not mistaken.
In what?
In the draft from last year.
Yeah.
And look what happened. Dude was probably the biggest bust at that whole draft. But
well, that
unfortunate event.
Thank Ridge Holland for that. But.
Oh my God. Hey, we all make mistakes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's people went hard on him for, not no reason, but people went hard on him, and he was just trying to do a move that he probably hadn't been properly trained on how to do.
Russell Spot, I like that AO message. He basically said Money in the Bank and Elimination Chamber or Sting, but Hell in a Cell. Yeah, that was the clip I was trying to refer to. I was seeing that, like, the way he was talking about Money to Bank and Elimination Chamber, it seemed like those might be the pay-per-view that stays.
As of now,
And the Hell in a Cell is definitely out.
Roman is not advertised for that one either. But I don't know. I think they do his schedule like like they'll be like.
I feel like he has to though. Like, it's in Canada.
Yeah, I think he'll end up.
No, he's working the road to WrestleMania. Like,
that's when we'll start seeing him every week.
He'll be on TV every week. We might see him on Raw a couple times too. Like that way during the road to WrestleMania is when we're gonna.
Well, stop getting these people fans up. You know, Raw. You know, we all know Roman's gonna show up to Raw one time and just go about his day, bro. He's not.
I didn't say how many times. I just know we might see him on Raw.
Oh, he might.
We'll see him one time, maybe 2 times.
Maybe we'll see him for the.
It's funny if Cody wins that, because then Cody's gonna move to SmackDown to do the storyline on the road to WrestleMania.
Can we get the Slammies back too?
Oh yeah.
Triple H is definitely
you have options to do. You have options to do this stuff.
You know, we got to bring back, especially in a time where it's so deep into social media. Bring back Cyber Sunday.
Yeah.
Yo, see, that's a pay-per-view that was ahead of its time. Oh my god.
Or just do like a Cyber Monday Night Raw or something like
that. Sad people, though.
Good.
Yeah, just do like a special.
You know how easy it is now. Like you don't.
Vote on Facebook, vote on Twitter, vote on TikTok, vote on Instagram. Like it's so easy to have a pay-per-view based off of social media.
Hey, yo! I guarantee you, people will vote for who they want to win, and they will still find a way to complain about it.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they're not actually going to pick who people want to win.
Yeah. Oh, we all know that. Like, if Roman had a match with, let's say, like, Cedric Alexander, and people want Cedric Alexander, like, they're not about to do that shit. Like,
there's like, you really think when they would drag CM Punk out of the ring for one of those cyber matches, and then they would have like the 3 options be like Matt Sydal, Kofi Kingston, and like Kane, they would pick Matt Sydal.
I don't know, man. Like, I think it was like a delusion on the thing fans had to say in them booking.
They faked the shit out of that.
The only one I could say I heard was allegedly, like, all in the real was the Cedric. I said Cedric. Shelton Benjamin one. I don't know who he faced. I can't remember who he faced.
Well, I think people knew they were going to vote for him, though.
I know they did one with Triple H where it was like Jeff Hardy and 2 other people, and I could believe Jeff Hardy would win anything.
Kozlov.
It was Jeff, Edge, and big Russian dude Kozlov.
Kozlov, yeah. Do not put Jeff in a popularity contest. He'll literally beat anyone.
Yeah.
And John definitely will vote him in. Right, Russell Spot?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think an hour 47 is a good place to call it? But anything else y'all want to say about the show in general before we head out here?
I thought it was an okay show. 8 out of 10 for me.
That's what I gave it.
It was pretty damn good. I
think.
What?
I still am a firm believer that Survivor Series should still be the one show in wrestling where each company just brings in their best 5 for a War Games.
That would be cool.
Yes, I think moving forward, I wouldn't say every Survivor Series should be War Game, but maybe every other Survivor Series should be like a War Game kind of thing.
Yeah.
If they have something planned that needs War Games, like, because you got to plan ahead, right? Like what we're talking about is long-term booking. If you're in the booking room planning the next 4 or 5 months, and you're like, well, the goal is to do, like, this is me fantasy dreaming. It's like the bloodline and the Hurt business, like that's something worthy of War Games. Then you can plan towards that. But if you don't have anything, like if you're just going to be forced to put 2 groups in War Games, you don't need to do it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, like, well, I was gonna say, like, but like, War Games is like, it's more of an NXT thing. If we all gonna be honest, I don't think it should be like. I don't think you need War Games for like a Hurt business and a bloodline kind of thing.
Well, that was just me throwing 2 factions together.
No. I know. I see where you're coming from. It could work, but I feel like War Games should be like kind of like a one-time thing, where it shouldn't be like unless it's really warranted. Like unless all the factions are just going at each other, maybe. But
Yeah.
no, but I see where you're coming from. I do think it can work if all the factions are going at each other. Triple H War Games can move where they're
I
needed.
think there's a way
okay,
they
then
can
I
do
guess
it.
so.
Yeah, because remember in the first War Games on NXT, they had 3 factions.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
They had Undisputed Era, Sanity, and AOP with Roderick Strong. So
wasn't that the pay per view where Roderick Strong joined?
That was Dusty Rhodes Classics Finals.
Wow.
Will, you did the same thing yesterday, bro.
Oh yeah, that's because Pete Dunne friggin' it was a triple threat tag match.
Yeah.
I hate those. I'm sorry, I hate triple threat tag matches. They're so retarded to me.
I hate the ones where they have like
one person on each side, or
no, I hate the ones where there's only 2 people in the ring and just like one team is just sitting out on the apron.
Yeah, like realistically, you could just chill on commentary and just tag in at the right time and get the dub.
What about the fatal 4-way tags? I hate those.
Same thing.
When you can just
I think at that point,
just tag anybody in. Like what, bro?
I think at that point, just have like a ladder match for them. Like it should a tag to never be more than the 2 teams. After that, just make it a ladder match.
At that point, it's not a tag match.
I never understood that. Like, why are you tagging somebody else in that's not on your team who could win?
Exactly. Oh my god.
Yeah, that
There's
I
just
never
a
understood the
ladder
logic.
match.
That's just one of those things in wrestling. Those are I call it a natural logic gap. Like they just want to have a bunch of teams together, so it's just a logic gap.
Yeah, sometimes you can't ignore those logic gaps.
Oh my!
Then you're just asking more questions and getting no answers.
I have a question, guys.
So
when is Sasha Banks coming back?
Oh my god! Not one of you, Brandon.
I'll answer that one. When everyone stops having this weird wet dream that she's either A, going to AEW or B, going to Stardom. She's coming back to WWE, guys.
Oh yeah, bro. She's coming back to WWE.
But the reason why I say that, Brandon, is like, oh my god, bro. I don't know if you're on Twitter, but the amount of time that people try to fantasy book Sasha Banks into coming into like her coming back to War Game or her coming back to save Bianca is like
Sasha Banks is the new Fiend. Let's just say it. She's the new Bray Wyatt.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Hey, that's the perfect comparison. Oh my god, like no, she's not coming to save Bianca. Why would she want to say someone she don't like? That makes absolutely no sense. Like, oh my god, bro.
Bro, we're gonna be at WrestleMania, Roman Reigns versus The Rock. Oh my god, Sasha Banks is gonna return right here. What, bro? Like, what are you talking about?
Right when Roman beats Rock, he's gonna return right here.
Yo, people will literally say that on Twitter, which is crazy. Oh my god, man!
Like one,
but the Bray one was still worse though. The Bray one was still worse.
I'm not gonna lie, I fell victim to that because me and Will we were watching Clash of the Castle and we were like, "Yo, what if after the match we see the Fiend?" We were like, "Nah,
Brandon, you see, Brandon got sucked in."
Yeah, no, me and Brandon, he said that, and I looked at him, and we just started shaking our head like, nah, that's not.
Let it go, man.
Oh my god!
See, I don't know how, but I've fallen into the vortex of people not saying, "Oh, Sasha Banks is coming back to WWE here." I somehow fallen into the vortex of people saying she's going to this company or that company. Which, if she does, that's cool, but don't hold your breath.
Yeah, just wait for them to actually return, bro. Just wait. I'm not believing them. I'm not believing Sasha Banks is coming back until I physically see her in the ring with my own 2 eyes.
Hell, I'll even believe it if I hear her music.
No, because it could be a decoy, bro. It could be a decoy for all we know.
Me and Brandon have friends who aren't really wrestling fans, but they're like come over and chill and watch a show. And they are. How would you describe them, Brandon?
What do you mean?
Like, how would you describe them as viewers of wrestling?
Oh, bro, they love to talk the most crap about how I watch it. But guess what? Who is glued to the TV screen when they're at my house and it's on the television?
They're just embarrassed to admit it. That's all.
Like, you want to talk all this talk, but over here you're over here popping over Rey Mysterio hitting the 619. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're marking out over Johnson.
It was all right.
Oh god, how was the show? Oh, it was cool. It was whatever, bro. What?
Wow, yo, Brandon, watch they go home. They're gonna rewatch it over and over.
I'm saying, bro.
They go home. Hey, Will. Hey, Will. What's that Peacock what's that Peacock login? I'm like, bro, you.
Like, hey, what was the name of that?
Hey, let me use your Peacock for what?
Next thing you know, you see like the history of like shit from like 2012 to now. You're like, wait, I didn't watch this.
I'm saying,
Yeah, no. Me and Brandon will see stuff pop up on our watch history, and we're like, who watched this? Like one time, remember what show was it? It was like the Kardashians or
Oh
something
my
was in our.
gosh. It was Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I was like, who was watching the
I was
Kardashians?
watching this. Oh my! Whoever watches that, something's wrong with you. I ain't gonna
I
lie.
don't understand it.
We looked at each other and we were like,
Watch movies on Peacock.
Damn, you good? Well, you good?
bro,
God.
my allergies are killing me. So if I
Bro,
sound
he's
like
like-
I'm,
You definitely sound more stuffy than you usually do. Like your voice definitely sound like a little clogged. Pause.
if I sound like I'm like experiencing death firsthand, then that's why.
If it sounds like death is at your door, he's just knocking.
He was
Yeah, no,
coughing
death
like
is
that
over here.
yesterday.
No, we were watching the show. We were watching the show, and Brandon said something, and I laughed. And you can ask him. I was like coughing for like 10 minutes
Yeah.
because I laughed.
He was coughing like crazy. He was coughing like crazy during the stand-up, the comedy stand-up segment on Survivor Series. I mean, Ronda versus Shotzi.
Oh.
Wow. Ironically, that happens. Well, I got some explaining to do. Ironically. Oh my god. All right, let's.
Yeah, we can cap it right here.
You know what
go
I'm
ahead.
saying? Break is over,
Yeah,
so you know what I'm saying? I gotta get used to going to sleep now.
Yeah,
Same.
that's all.
Facts.
I gotta
Bro,
get
I'm
it
not
done.
ready for tomorrow.
I'm not ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, I am Russell Spot of Bad Takes and Better Conversation. This was a fun episode. Steven, go ahead and plug whatever you want.
Again, it's your boy Steven Sports, aka the biggest Ronda stand of all time. I can catch me anywhere at Steven Sports Studios. I dropped 2 brand new videos. I dropped one with my boy Jay Eries. Make sure I go watch that. It's about how Triple H is a burger. So everyone go check that out. Y'all can if y'all want. I actually have I was working on the video on the who's the greatest NXT champion. I'm going to see if I could try to finish that video up because my computer's broken. So I'm like, I only need to edit 5 parts. So if I can get that out for y'all should definitely be on the lookout for that. And yeah, this was a great podcast, man. Shout out to Will, shout out to Brandon, shout out to Igma. Igma, you definitely did not sound like how I expected you to sound, but it was fun.
Good. Just watch my podcast.
Brandon, go ahead.
Yeah. You can follow me on everything at Brando the Actor. Should have some pretty interesting stuff coming out pretty soon. I'm not going to speak on it, but stay tuned. Yeah, you can follow me and Will on Fourth Wall Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Hopefully we'll get back at that soon. But yeah, bro, fun night. Thanks for having me, guys.
Enigma.
I'm Nick 4 from Talk for Glory, guys. Right, guys, you want to hear more wrestling podcasts? Just follow myself and my co-host, Young Smooth. And pretty much all of our socials exactly as you see my name on screen, Enigma B4. That's exactly on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, where I can cover a bunch of wrestling and tell you why my favorite wrestling company is better than yours. I'm kidding. Also not. But Russell Spot, again, thank you so much for having me.
No problem, man.
Steven, it was fun stepping on your toes, man. If you ever come on my show and you start drooling over Shuri, I will cut your mic. I'm not afraid to do it.
Oh my god, come on now. You know how I feel about her. Come on now, bro.
I know she's golden, man. I know she'll solo Ronda. It's okay. But
Hey, come on, I won't even challenge you on that one. I'm gonna keep it a bar. I'm not even gonna challenge you on that.
okay. See, what I was gonna say, I will name you 12 Shuri matches right now that clear Ronda.
Oh no. She definitely clears Ronda. I'll tell you that first. Yeah.
All right,
I love Ronda.
Russell Spot, that's how you're gonna close out the show. Steven admitting Shuri clears Ronda.
That sucks. I'm actually about to watch a match right now. I'm about to watch one.
Shit, I'll put on everyone to start him here. But again, thank you, Russell Spot.
No problem, man. No problem. Will.
I'm lame. I don't make content anymore, but you can follow me on Instagram at wgriffin._. Brandon plugged the YouTube. Go follow that. We don't make videos anymore, but we have old stuff you can watch. We think we have good takes. So thanks for having me.
No problem. But if you're still watching, do us a favor. Go raid the Star Before Time stream. He's having a TikTok After Dark that is unrestricted. We try to be as unrestricted as we can over here, but sometimes we just can't do that. But
Gotta get
but
paid
yeah,
over
there's
here,
no rules.
boys.
There's
Gotta
no
get
rules.
paid,
Yeah,
man.
there's no rules at the Star before times after dark. So make sure y'all go check that out. The link is in the description. Another thing, go check. I'm sorry. Let me stop sharing real quick. Go check out Tommy's Wrestler of the Year. Sorry, I'm having such a hard time to remember. Tommy Impact's Wrestler of the Year. Yeah, Wrestler of the Year list that is in the description. You have 3 days left, or basically 2.5 days left to vote, because we are having a big thing for the selection show next week. That's more on Tommy Impact's end, but we are they're
Hey, Russ,
supporting. And
does
y'all support people.
your comment section save? I'm gonna just post down my links in your comments.
Yeah, the live chat will save.
Gotcha.
And you can also just comment and it'll be there forever. That's probably a better way, actually. But yeah, make sure you go check out everything these guys going on. The Fourth Wall, Talk for Glory, and Steven's YouTube. So yeah, I had fun though.
I'll be safe out here, man.
Have a great one.
Sir, y'all be good.